we're going to go over keyword research and how and why to do keyword research. Super fun. If you have questions, chime in. I think, Rena, we're doing this in a certain way, right? Rena, introduce yourself.
Yeah, we are. Hi, I am Rena from Little Works Indie Media. I run a boutique digital marketing company in Vancouver. Thank you. And so I guess what we're going to do is it's going to be like questions, because really, while I have some overarching ideas about keyword research, I usually have people on my team that do the specific research. So these are some questions that I had that I thought everyone else might have too, because there's so many different things. There's SEO, SEM, and on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO, and where does one start? So we're talking about keywords, and keywords pertain to Google Ads and on-page SEO for your website and for your blogging strategy. So these are the questions that I had. So Pip, what is the difference between keywords for Google Ads and on-page SEO?
Oh, there's a lot of difference. That's a good question, actually. Did I write that one down? The difference. Okay. So keyword research is you do for both products, let's call them products or services. For both of them, you do keyword research. So you use keywords. One is you pay per click per keyword. And the other one is actually related to a lot more research. So you can use tools from Google Keyword Planner, which is inside Google Ads, to do some keyword research, but that should be a testing place or a keyword generating place and testing place. No, but it shouldn't be your only place, because technically I've read that out of all the systems, that Google Keyword Planner has the least amount of keywords offered up for an ad campaign. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think they do that?
That's a really good question.
That's maybe something that you can't answer.
I don't think I can answer that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go into my thoughts about it, but they're sneaky. That's why they're sneaky.
They're sneaky. Okay, well, let's move into the stuff that we actually do know a lot about, so that we can give some good ideas on where to get going. Okay. So can you take me through the process of keyword research?
Yes. Somebody's saying, hi, hey, it's Greg. Greg, I can't see your face. So yes. Okay, process keyword research. So bloody hell, I turned on Facebook and all of a sudden I'm like, there's messages. And I just wanted to see.
I'll do the messages. You do the content. How's that?
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
So how to do keyword research? Well,
Planner has the least. Bloody hell. That's me. I'm sorry. I did it.
I do that all the time. It's all good. How you do keyword research? Well, we have to know that each page on our website, we have to treat like its own mini website, right? Like one page is, generally, okay, they teach one page per keyword string. And a keyword string is a group of words that people type into Google to get responses. But one of the things I think that a lot of people don't talk about, or some people don't talk about, is intent. So yeah, when you're doing keyword research, you have to use the search engine results pages and see what is the intent behind when somebody types in this phrase, like what do people want back? Because we were talking about this, like best real estate agent as an example. And when I type into Google best real estate agent, now I can bid on that as an ad and somebody might click on it and I might get a deal. But if I'm looking at the organic section, it's all about like a listicle, like the 5 to 10 best. Like, so if you're trying to rank for that kind of keyword, you're never going to rank, right?
All right. So can I just pull that in for a second?
Yeah. I know. Go back.
Okay. So what I hear you telling me, which is actually a really great piece of information, is that the difference between Google Ads and using keywords for Google Ads and using keywords for your website is that the one is paid. So therefore, if you pay for it, Google will eventually send your ad out to people who put those questions where your keyword will answer their question and it'll match up. So you will get some action if you're paying for it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for organic rankings and you want somebody to put in a question and then you want your website to come up, that takes a little bit longer and a little bit more strategy, because you are competing not with a dollar, but with your tech savviness, so that you can actually come up near or above your competition, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Right on. Okay. So, so when we're doing that, what you're saying is that we build a list from Google. What was the tool again? The Google what?
Google Keyword Planner. So I would use many
Right.
resources like
Right.
Answer the Public,
What
Google
are,
Keyword Planner, Uber Suggest. Like you're generating
right.
keywords, right? So
Yeah.
then you
Good.
pick a keyword and then you go
Okay.
test it, right? Oh, of course. Sorry. Mute.
All right, so we whittle down the keywords that we take, and then how do you decide on a keyword to test?
Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so how do you decide on a keyword to test? Well, you do it a couple ways. I would check the search engine results page to see the search volume, because you can see the search volume at the top of the page, right? When you get your response. I would also check the Google Keyword Planner. Some people use paid tools, and I'm looking for low volume and high I'm looking for low volume or high volume and low competition. High volume and low competition. That being said, I can't go for the, like, there are no keywords that you could probably get that are low competition and really high volume. So of course you're going for long tail, but everybody's trying to go for long tail. Yeah. And long tail keywords. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's exactly right. Let's actually define long tail and short keywords, and so that people know the difference.
Right. Long tail is on a general level, long tail is 3 or more words, right, in a phrase. So it has less search volume. So think of it like, okay, and then so long tail has less search volume. Short tail, also called seed keywords or head terms, have a lot of search volume. So think water or water bottle would be like a head keyword or a seed keyword or a short tail, right? And then a long tail would be water bottle from BC, Canada, purified water from the Okanagan Springs, something like that.
Great. Right? So more categories on your main pages, and then get more specific on your long tail, right? And do you ever do long tail on your main pages, or do you usually save them for blog posts?
Well, the first thing to do is just find the keywords with high enough volume and low competition, because that's what you want. That's really you have to dig in, and then you have to figure out if you can win. Like,
and what does that look like?
Well, that looks like going and seeing what your competition is doing and who's ranking for that keyword, right? You can't, like, if you really want to. Sorry. Hey, puppy. Shh. They don't realize we're in a live. I'll throw paper. Throwing paper. I think there's somebody here. Anyway, so if you don't do a competitive analysis, and that's a dive into searching for that phrase in Google, checking who is number one and seeing if they're doing all the right things. If they're not, you have a chance to beat them, right?
I see. So you're checking their page for things like the H tags and the alt text and all of the density of keywords and filling in their meta description and all of those kinds of things that most people do through their Yoast plugin.
Yes. I think it's Greg that's asking me if I have doors. Do I have doors?
All right.
Sorry, guys.
So the long tail, I'll just pick up long tail keywords I like to use for blogging strategy. And one of the things that makes your short tail keywords work really nicely, it's like the the space that I have for my hands that I'm looking at is different than the space that you see. So when we have short keywords on our main pages, if we want to give them a big, nice boost, we want to link to other articles that go in depth to your main pages. And you want to use long tail keywords on those ones and link those pages back to short ones. That helps. Am I right?
Well, I don't want to use short tail keywords. I don't ever.
No, oh, not at all. Oh,
If
okay.
I'm
So,
a Yeah, if I'm a business owner and I'm a small business, yeah,
yeah.
how am I going to compete? So real estate agents would have to compete with REW and
Uh-huh.
like, okay, so me, search engine optimization specialist, I'm competing with like Neil Patel,
Yeah.
and like you can't win. So you have to be either really into your craft and blogging about it and getting those long tail keywords. It's all you have to do long tail. Like you can't do really
Always.
short
Okay.
tail always.
All right. You're the first SEO person who's ever said that to me. And that's what my feeling is too, because again, I like to make sure that there's a strategy behind it. Because if you're using we go back to the real estate agent, if you're using best real estate agent in Vancouver, like you need to throw a lot of money into that to make that work. And that's not really great. What would be great is to actually focus on your branding, do the research and sort of meld the research with your brand value offer, and then try and get the right audience to you rather than all audience to you. That's how I feel about it. Do you agree, or what do you
Yeah,
think about that?
I 100% agree. And then you have to think about, okay, what is your person doing? So you're going to have different people that are looking for your business. If
Yeah.
I and where are they in their journey? So some people do research and they want to get to know a person. So if you want somebody to knock on your front door and buy your services, when I heard this from a real estate agent, when they get to you, you want them to have already decided that they want to work with you, that
Right.
you're their person. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have to have a strategy around where they are in their journey because you're getting to know them. You don't
That's
know
right.
that, but through your content and hence blogging and hence really like what are people searching for when they're looking to sell their house?
That's actually really interesting because this is where I'm going with this. The SEO strategy needs to be in alignment with your brand strategy and your overall marketing strategy in terms of funnels and buyer's journey. All of that stuff needs to be organized, which is why I find it so funny when people silo their services. Like they get an SEO expert to do one thing, and then they get a content manager to do the other thing, and never the two speak.
Mm.
It's always best when everyone's working with the same plan.
Well, if the only way that can really work is if the business owner knows exactly who their target market is, where they are,
Yeah,
like they know their marketing strategy before, right?
that's right.
Or you have to have this is why marketing collaboration is so huge because
Yeah.
we're all going to be working together, and wouldn't you rather work with people that you already gel with and so figure out how you can work with them to share business because we can't do it all.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That was my number one thing for coming in here and starting to work with other workers, because instead of my clients choosing which SEO partner they're going to or company they're going to go with, I can make suggestions and work with people that I know who will be on board, where we can actually have conversation. We're
Mhm.
looking at the same results and we're working together to move those results in the right direction.
Right? So yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I find it's hard for me to understand Facebook ads people. Like I don't, partly
I
it's
know,
not
I have the
the same
same thing about
language,
SEO people. I
right?
know, right?
I'm like what is a tripwire? I'm like, like okay, so that's a new phrase. So yeah, it's but if I think you can also bleed what you learn from your Google stuff into your
Mhm.
marketing, right? Because
Absolutely.
you're gonna see what people are typing in Google. If they're typing it in Google, they're thinking it. If they're thinking it, they're on Facebook thinking it,
That's right.
right?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So, okay, so let's get back to our little list here because we want to make sure that we hit all of our points. All right, so we sort of covered decide on your keyword for that page based on volume of searches and looking at low competition, and then also thinking about long tail keywords and knowing your audience, all that stuff. So then, what do? We need to check our results, and how do we go about doing that?
Mm. How do we go about doing that? Looking at our results. So as I said, you have to use some deductive reasoning. So not only do you need to do testing, like if you have the opportunity to use tools, like you want to see somebody's domain authority, right? So write that down. You want to see, are they, so when you're testing your keyword, first you're finding the testing of high enough volume and low competition, right? Then you could go over to like Google Trends. And here's an example, like you want to see what is the word you're using trending up or down or the same across time? Or for instance, nylons versus tights. Are people typing in nylons or are they typing in tights? Because do I want to have a targeted keyword that's nylons when it can be tights? So there's this huge, when you do keyword research, it's a lot of back and forth and around and checking. And so with you're testing on different sites, and you're using reasoning behind what the search engine results pages are telling you, because and who's your competition and can you beat them. So all these things
Right.
come into play before you should pick what you're doing. Like if you're going to be really drilled down and most of your traffic comes from Google, or that's like, different businesses, their audience is in different places, right? So not Google ads isn't right for everybody. SEO isn't necessarily right for everybody at different points in their business, right? So,
Right.
so keyword research is a huge process with lots of testing and numbers and spreadsheets.
Cool. All right. So so once you actually drill that down and get that organized and get that keyword all optimized on your page,
But
then how long does it take to rank? Everyone wants to know. Everyone wants to be on Google's first page by next month.
yeah. Well, isn't that interesting? It depends. The number one phrase in, well, a lot of the SEO stuff is, well, it depends. Because if you've picked the right keywords, well, that can happen in a matter of weeks to a month. Literally, I've seen it. I've done it by accident. And or a month, right? Or 3 years or never, right?
Right.
As I said, that's why, like, you can pick the wrong keyword, but you're going to know if you pick the wrong keyword, because you're going to start seeing, like, in Google Search Console, you're going to start
Yeah.
seeing that phrase come up as a search term you're ranking for. And
Yeah.
if you're on page 100, well, man, it's going to take you 20 years to get to like
Yeah,
page
for
one.
sure. Yeah. So some of the things that from the social side that I do to help my clients while they're waiting to rank for number one on and go through all this process, and or if they really want a keyword that they can't rank for in Google, we sort of organize them on social to use their search engine. So ranking on social search is similar concepts. You want to make sure that you've got those keywords organized. You want to take a look at your competition. Not very many people organize their Facebook pages in particular for ranking. They don't put all their stuff.
Mm,
But the other search engine that I love working with is YouTube. And so you can actually get quite a bit of traffic and audience at that point while you're working with your SEO person to get the right strategy. That way, you don't have to wait.
yeah.
We can actually just get you. It's got to be like a multi-pronged approach, and also those kinds of areas like social and YouTube can really help you build your branding and get your name out there while you're waiting, because most people, it's hard for SEO. If someone's going in and looking for a coach, for example, there are so many coaches in the world. There's so many coaches in Vancouver. Or let's go back to our real estate agent. There are so many real estate agents in Vancouver, but which one are you going to work with? Are you going to work with, you got to decide who you work with. So generally, name recognition will play into it. Reviews will play into it, and
Huge.
all of that stuff is really good in helping people make decisions when they're in that buyer's cycle, the stage called research, which is before they're ready to buy, but once they've already identified that there's a problem and a solution to their problem.
Mm.
So that can be really helpful. while you're doing that, and they all have their own ways of ranking. So LinkedIn has a really great search engine capacity, so I would look
Yeah.
at making sure that those areas are also optimized. Um,
I think it's
but
so
that's
interesting. Yeah. Real estate agents, honestly, like for the word best, you should do an ad
yes,
and you should be competitive. That would be the one phrase
yeah.
that you might want to bid on and pay for.
That's
Um,
right. That's
right.
right. So that's the great thing also about having an SEM portion of the marketing program, is that you can just go in and fight
Yeah.
your way through that competition and get yourself up there and get yourself seen. When people are ready to buy, they still go in and type in Google. They're not generally going to go through Facebook to make a
Yeah.
purchase. They're generally it's a completely different part of the buyer cycle there, unless you're doing actual lead generation campaigns, which can be quite
Yeah.
successful for certain types of industries and people. Okay, so let's go back to so you are looking for different professionals when you're looking to create attack your SEO in different places.
Yeah.
I mean, search engine optimization usually refers to Google and search engines, but there are keyword optimizations on everything. And then search intent. That was our last point. Tell us more about search intent then,
I had
because
a
this was the most fascinating when we talked the other day.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I listen to a podcast. So in the SEO world, sometimes you hear like keyword research is dead or keyword using keywords are dead. Well, we all type in keywords into Google, so no, it's not dead, but things are changing, like
Oh,
right, and so we have to be aware of that, and so we really have to start thinking about intent and the intent of the user, like and where they are in their journey. But intent have like when I'm ready to hire a real estate agent, like, and I'm gonna go buy a place. I might type in best real estate agent, right? But I'm looking for a listicle or an ad. Like that's what you see there, right? Or somebody in location area right around me. So we have to pay attention to how we search and what we're looking for. So intent is, am I looking for something local? Like a real estate agent would be local. A shoe store might be online, might be local, right? So if you check the search engine results pages, you can see intent, which is somebody going to buy? Are they looking to buy? Are they looking for a job? Like if I type in copywriter in Duncan, right? I'm typing for something local and I'm typing for a service. So Google has to figure out what I want,
yeah. Are you
right?
providing it or are you wanting it?
Yeah. So, and if you look at the search engine results pages, it's going to tell you what other people are looking for with that,
Right.
right? So that's going to tell you if, because am I going to, so on my blog post, do I want, as a real estate agent, do I want to rank for, um, I don't know, I would try best real estate agent maybe there, but I would do a list of all the best. I wouldn't just do it
Right.
about myself, right? To
Right.
rank because people are looking for that option. Are they going to look at your site
Yeah.
later, right?
So so what about when people contact me? I get this a lot where people contact me and they want to add me to their site. A listicle is the best thing for them to do, right?
Why do they want, hold on, why do they want to add you to the site?
I don't know. They sometimes they just I've been contacted for that before. They want to add my client to their site.
Add you.
Usually they're sometimes they're asking for a reciprocal scenario.
Mm.
And then sometimes I get blog articles already offered up to me, like somebody else is going to write them for free. Are those good for your SEO or not?
I've put up a blog. I mean, it depends on the client.
Yeah.
If somebody's offering to write a blog post for you, related to your topic, and you don't blog or you don't have content, and you're giving them a link, and they don't sell bike parts, like say it's a bicycle site, and they're writing an
Yeah.
article about bike
Oh yeah.
parts or something, but they're a famous bike person, right? Then for sure, I
Yeah.
might want that. But I am cautious on things like, well, are they selling? Like, am I gonna, if it's a link that someone can link on the page and they can go out and they can see the link, which you should see the link. Um, I want to be cautious of where I'm putting a business. Like, do I trust them? You know?
Yeah, those so in the case where the one that I got, I definitely checked. They had quite a few outgoing links to the blog article that they provided me. So my question was is of who are those companies and do they say stuff that I can stand behind, that my brand stands can stand behind? And so I think there was only one in the whole thing that I was like, this site looks iffy, so I just removed it.
Yeah.
I just removed the link. It's not a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal, and they certainly didn't get back to me to say that it was a big deal. So,
Right.
so that's how I handled it, and I liked it. I liked getting the free content. That
Oh
was
yeah.
a lot of work to do those kinds of blogs in particular.
And you can help each other, right? Like businesses actually can be in conjunction. There's not everything's a competition. Who is it? It's Anne. Hey Anne. Oh, I've missed you. I actually asked about you the other day. See how you.
Your messages.
Um,
I just wanted to say that was a lot.
Rena, what are you doing?
I've never had this problem before. I'm trying to answer Anne and it just opens up into the live. Like
Uh,
that's not good. How do we answer without having that happen?
no idea. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I should try that sometime.
This is new. This has never happened before.
Isn't that
Sorry.
the changes, the changes.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, keyword research is lots of work, lots of fun. There's tools to do it. I think when personally, I was actually talking to another marketer yesterday about how because I was like, how do you do it? Because we charge more than them for keyword and competitive research. And they had a tool they used where we do some manual things because we're going to be as precise as possible to try to get our person to rank. And if we can find a gap between our competition and a keyword, right? That's the keyword I'm going to go for. That's the gold. And I think that's how people need to start really looking at keyword research and realizing that it's a big job, man. Well, man, everybody.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It seems like a really big job. So what are your favorite tools though if we're going to start somewhere? Maybe we should put the tools in the comments afterwards.
Okay, so for keyword research, I do use the Google Keyword Planner, definitely.
Okay.
I will check domain authority. And then I use the SERP, the search engine results pages. And the thing about that is that you're not gonna if you take a keyword you find from the search engine results page and put it in the Google Keyword Planner, you might not get any feedback as to how great that keyword is. So going over to the search engine results page and seeing like if you can rank, like if there's 2 billion like pages that come up versus.
So what's the number? What's a better number?
Smaller is better.
Okay.
If I'm a small business, like if I'm a small business, I need like if I'm starting out or I've been in it 5 years, like you have to think small and grow big, right?
Okay. Yeah. And then so that deals with low competition, small number, low competition. But what about the high search volume? What's the number that we're looking for? We want like 500 searches, or do we want 1 million searches?
Between 100 and 1,000 if you're a small business. That's the range to try to get in. And I mean, then you have to think area. Am I targeting my location, or if I'm targeting the world or Canada or the Canada in the US, it's like the search volume is going to be way higher. So you might have more ability to find something, but you might spend a few more hours looking. Right? So yeah, it's a process. It's a fun process.
Wow, you know what? That's actually really great. That gives us some really good starting spaces, and then it also helps us to dig into what our strategy should be rather than just paying for random keyword generator stuff, because I find that sometimes happens. I get a whole lot of really vague keywords that I can't really use for my blogging. It's not helpful. It's not specific enough, but it is a good starting space, I suppose. And I'm looking forward to doing the research now or
right?
hiring you.
Right. Well, and
Yeah.
buying terms are different. So I think you should use
Yeah.
buying phrase, like where somebody's in buying mode, they want to
Oh,
land on
right.
specific pages, right? And then if
Yep.
like blog mode, it's kind of about them getting to know you, or
Yep.
they're reading an article and then they're ready, right?
Yeah.
Because you spoke to them, right? I think real estate agents should focus more on their clientele and what kind of
I
things
agree.
are important.
Yeah. And
Neighborhoods, um,
yeah.
um,
And that's where social can really get them, because you can target people with ads that specifically. And that's the difference, I think, between, and that's why I think Facebook ads and Google ads work so well together, because they kind of do slightly different things, but they can, with the right strategy, complement each other.
yeah. This is why we're in cahoots. Um,
Yeah.
that was really fun. Hey, Rena, do you know what we're doing next week?
No, am I doing anything next week?
We are. Oh,
Next week?
it's definitely got to be failing because it's about tag manager.
Ah,
He's teaching
Phelan.
today. He's teaching that today, so it should be
Oh,
really
right
good.
on.
Yeah. We're out of time, buddy. We gotta go.
So
Got to
is tag manager and who's on?
Uh, Phelan and someone. Greg, I
Okay,
think.
failing at someone.
Right,
Okay, right on. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. This was super fun. I really learned a lot, Pip, actually, and I'm looking forward to next time.
Yeah. See you soon. I had a lot of fun.